Rising Collective, welcome back to Pearl Snap Tarot. Make it snappy. We're finding that time is feeling like things are feeling like they're speeding up. And so we're usually sitting on our butt talking to you, but today we're going to be making breakfast while we talk to you. So welcome to my kitchen, and you can see what I'm going to eat here too. I just got back from my walk, and you can see I'm a little sweaty, and I'm not even going to bother to take a shower. I'm just going to eat next. I'm going to prepare my meal and eat. And so this video might be chopped up a little bit well, I'm chopping up vegetables. Later I might chop it up a little bit if there's some weird part I need to cut out, because I've never made a making breakfast video before. So while I was on my walk, I got some downloads. Let me just wave the magic wand around and ask for protection on this reading. 101 on the clock when I started doing that. Okay. Before I went for my walk, I got some downloads, and I channeled a song, Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow, something like that. I think that's how that goes. Is that Stevie Nicks? I don't know. I channeled that song. Ooh, don't you look back. Okay, so it goes along with that moving forward theme we keep getting, right? Let's see. Oh, another download I got is because I saw a story online about Burning Man Festival. At Burning Man, I saw something about some cops busting down a protest barrier that was blocking all those rich elite people from getting in there. And they just, you know, mowed it down. They mowed it down. So the download that I got, though, about Burning Man is that Burning Man is going to be burning hot this year. I got the download. They're going to get the heat wave there too. So, you know, that place is just artificial. You know, no humans should really be living there. That area is inhospitable to humans, and so they have to, you know, truck in all the water and everything they need there while it's going on. And so, you know, here's what I got. I hope they're prepared. I hope they have enough water and stuff there to survive. This year is going to be super hot. Look out. That's what I got. So, I'm not sure why they were all so anxious to get in there. Because the message I got is that some people might be kind of sorry they went to Burning Man this year. They might be. Because it's going to be hot there at Burning Man. It's going to be hot. I got that message. Ooh, I just heard fire. Doo, 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 doo. Oh, Ohio players. Ohio players. Yep. Okay, I'm checking my notes again. Oh, another story I saw was on the local news yesterday. The New Mexico local news had a story about how the lavender growers and the honey people, they didn't get the harvest they were hoping for this year. It's way down. So then I got a download about royal jelly. That's a bee product, okay? But I also got a connection between that and the way that certain people were being fattened up for the slaughter. The fat is like the royal jelly. That's what your fat is, your fat rolls, okay? That they wanted you to have, Divine Feminine. Those fat rolls they like so much. You know, they like their meat marbled, like Wagyu beef. And somebody who's pretty high up in this state got into a little bit of trouble because they were allocating taxpayer money to buy that kind of goodies. Anyway, the honey harvest is way down this year in this state. It's down. So they're not getting as much of that royal jelly stuff as they want. Because somebody, oh, wait a minute, let me just get this. I want to get this on the camera here. The reason they're not getting that royal jelly is because somebody got their boundaries up and cut some people off, okay? Collective, you cut some people off. You got your boundaries right and you cut some people off. You got your mind right. It looks like a brain, huh? You got your mind right. And you know, right about here, if you cut into the brain, this is where your pineal gland is, that's because your gland got activated. Sorry, don't look at my arms; they're so ugly. But I'm working on restoring my health, getting my health restored. And I'm pretty unhappy with the people who were trying to ruin it. I had people trying to ruin it when I was stuck in a trap house. Okay, so I've been getting messages that forgiveness is important, because we have to forgive these people that helped us activate our gifts, because unbeknownst to them, that was their job. Okay? Their job was to activate us. They may not have realized that. I think they thought that they were doing something else, but they didn't really ever believe that they were helping us activate. What I'm doing is I'm going to steam some cauliflower and broccoli, and then I'm going to saute it after it's steamed, you know, to get it a little softer. I'm going to saute some onions in the pan and put all this chopped broccoli and cauliflower in there with it, and also some goat cheese, which I love, feta cheese. I'm going to put some of that in. And some quinoa, or quinoa. I'm going to put quinoa in there too. And that's going to be my breakfast. This meal will fill me up, and I'll feel really full and satisfied for hours after I eat this. I've done this before. It's a really full, satisfying meal. So here we go with the steamer. See my little kitchen angel here? I keep an angel in the kitchen. The angel has a cornucopia. Abundance. Abundance, collective. Abundance is ours. I did readings for myself this morning. I just kept getting nothing but abundance. Abundance and more abundance. Okay? And also things about cutting things off and moving on. So all the readings I did a whole bunch of them this morning. Cutting things off and moving on. Olive oil. Oh, Popeye! I heard, da-da-da-da-da-da, yeah, if you eat your broccoli, your spinach and all that, you'll get like a sailor man, you know? You'll get like a sailor man. So, that's what I'm doing. I'm being my own Popeye. Okay? I'm not gonna play the olive oil. I need someone to save me. I definitely need assistance here. I still am trying to get help to myself. But remember, I saw all these abundance cards this morning. A lot of abundance cards. All right, so when I was out on my walk, this is interesting. When I was out on my walk, look at those horses. See, this horse was stuck, okay? And it's all fragmented and messed up. See that? That's because of what these ghouls did to you. Then you got your mind right and you took off. Or you're going to. You turn direction. You turn yourself around. See that? You turn yourself around. Anyway, while I was out there on my walk, I saw a couple things. I saw one thing that indicated that one of my predictions is coming true. And I did warn people that we could have sinkholes here. And there's a bunch of new sinkholes in the walking path over by the rose garden. So I was like, ooh, look at that. Then I saw this part of the world, I'm telling you, it's inhospitable. It's desert, just like where they are in Burning Man, you know. It's desert here too. And this really isn't human territory. It's really not. There's so many ants here underground. That's why we have sinkholes. Because there's like huge populations of ants under there. And sure enough, a huge ant hill also had been activated over there. And there were millions of ants scurrying around all over the place on the path, which then I got a download that it's like there's some kind of an army at work somewhere in the background that people aren't seeing yet. It might be in the spiritual realm. There's an army of worker ants doing stuff, okay? Those ants that I saw, that they're like an army. I found this picture yesterday. This popped out while I'm trying to declutter things, but as I get closer and closer to this, you can see it's an army of Buddhas, okay? That's who the army is. I said it's in the spiritual realm, these ants. There's an army in the spiritual realm, okay, that's here. Thousands of Buddhas. Check that out. Also, this picture came out of a box when I was decluttering. It's a bagpiper playing the bagpipes at a shrine. And you can see in there this is okay, that came out. And then I looked down into that path goes along it goes along a ditch that carries the runoff from the hills during the monsoon season. And we've had a couple of storms lately. Nothing like the monsoon seasons of years past, though, but we did have a couple of storms that hit. And I saw some debris down there in the ditch. One of the things I saw was a beach ball that was deflated. And I channeled the song, "The party's over. It's time to call it a day." All right, I can only tell you, okay, so, but I told you I got all this abundance channel. Look at the shirt I'm wearing. I'm wearing the Nine of Pentacles today, desert version. I'm wearing it around today. And look, it looks like like an infinity mandala. Okay. All right. My breakfast is steaming away, and now I've got to cut up those onions. I'm making a big mess, too. Big mess. Big mess. It's messy. Whatever's going on now, it's definitely a transition. We're in some kind of shift, and it's a little messy. It's going to get a little bit messy. Messy. And so, that's the chaos. That's the chaos. But the order is going to come out of the chaos. It is. We're going to see some order coming out of there, and I got a message about order this morning when I was doing my hair. When I was ordering my hair into this nice orderly braid. Order. We're going to bring order to this mess. Okay? And as I walked past the rose garden, the lawn was being mowed. The lawnmower crew was out there mowing. And I didn't see any homeless people in the park. And as I walked past, the lawnmower man stopped for me and waited for me to go by, and he waved at me, and I waved back at him like, thank you. And then when I circled around to come back home, people stopped on a busy street at the crosswalk for me to cross. And I said, thank you. Okay. Now, yesterday I took the time out because I had a big download about watching the movie Blade Runner. So I took the time out to watch it, but I didn't watch the original. I decided to skip that because I've seen it. It's been a long time, but I got curious about the sequel. So I watched it, and it was really dark and really scary. It was real scary. But it definitely relates back to this whole thing about people who are selected to be, to be the little goats. Goat cheese. People who are selected to be those people, right? Those people. That's what that movie's about. It's all about genetic engineering and how this horrible, I guess it's an off-planet bad guy is trying to engineer the perfect slave race. That's what it's really all about. It's really scary too. So, but it ends with, spoiler alert, it ends with the bloodline family members being reunited. So that movie it's called Blade Runner 2046 or 49 or something like that. I forget the year. But it's showing you how soon that kind of world could come if we don't get our act together, okay? But we are going through a shift right now, so I think it's happening. It's not going to happen, is what I kept getting. It's not going to happen, but that doesn't mean we can go to sleep. We are playing a part in creating a positive change, creating positive changes. We are co-creating positive change so that we will not end up with a world like the one shown in that movie. I hated the movie. I mean, I was really good, but I like sat there like it was like eating poo. It didn't taste, like ugh. I don't like watching this, but I'm watching it for a reason. And in the movie, those evil people, they didn't show what happened to them, but the worst one she was like the Queen of Swords. A lot of people are giving these readings about these evil Queens of Swords that are after you. And there was this one character in this movie that was definitely, you know, the Blade Runner. They sacrificed people that weren't good enough for their needs. So they just coldly sacrificed them. They had no empathy. These people that came here to re-engineer the human race had no empathy whatsoever. And if that generation wasn't what they wanted, they had a ceremony where they plunged a knife in to the clone. So I don't know if you want to take time to watch that, but I'm just saying that was an eye-opener, that movie, for me. Okay, 4:11 on the clock when I said that. 411. What's the 411 collective? The 411 is get off your ass. So it's the morning after the big super full moon, and Pearl Snap didn't go out there and go to any rituals or parties or anything. We don't do that. We don't do that kind of stuff. Everybody else in this town does, pretty much, though. They pretty much do. And I had tried to run over to Albertsons at the end of the night last night, and I got there just as they were closing, and I realized everybody there was prepping up for full moon rituals. Their parking lot was full and busy, and I was like, ooh, I got to get out of here. This isn't where I'm supposed to be. So, and this morning was the morning after that, and I saw the moon in the sky this morning when I got up. And of course, the whole town's hungover. And I got to download that a lot of people aren't feeling so well because they had magic returned on them last night. So, warnings have been given plenty of times, but you know, either you're listening or you're not, and even the Snap is not listening to some of the warnings because the interference has become so intense. So we don't appreciate that. Okay. Gang to the gang, man. We don't appreciate that. .1:33 on the clock when I said that. Okay. And yesterday I got a little woo blast that I was real grateful for that. Those downloads, thank you. And those communications, thank you. That was inspiring to me to keep going. Yep, I listened and I watched. And I do think, you know, timelines are converging, and I'm going to be connecting with my soul tribe pretty soon. I'm here. I let them know, and I think they got that. I think they got that. Yeah, I think they got that. So, thank you. Hi, people. Yeah, hi, gang to the gang. Okay. I want you to hear it sizzling. This is when it starts to smell really good, okay? So, well, it smells good right now, but later, after you make this breakfast, your kitchen will smell like giant farts. Because it's cruciferous vegetables, okay? Cruciferous. Yes. I'm guided to eat cruciferous vegetables for breakfast and goat cheese. So anyway, see, I'm gonna let it saute for a minute. Saute it down so the onions get cooked. I put green onions in there. Green onions. Green onions. Here. Now I buy goat cheese like in a brick, and so what I'm doing is I'm gonna chop that brick up. Okay. Yeah, gonna chop up the brick, and I will mix that in with the cruciferous vegetables, and put some quinoa in there. I buy it already cooked, so it's easy to Easy to prep. I'll save a lot. One of these can last me for several meals, because I can have a little bit with this meal and maybe a little bit later with something else, right? So this is almost ready. And in just a moment, I'm going to turn it out into one of my feeding troughs. I got a set of these feeding bowls. That's what I call them. And then I just mix everything up together in here, and it's delicious. Okay, so here we go. This is the Pearl Snap cooking show, I guess. Who knows what we'll do next? And by the way, we're going to go to the computer in a few minutes and create a thumbnail image using the AI art generator, which I'm really having a good time using. I love doing that. I just love it. I just love doing that. I love it. I heard another one yesterday said, do what you love, and I love doing that. So I'm doing that. So I think the thought that I had was, I'm going to try to create an image of a trashed hotel room. The party's over. Do, 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 do. Who's not hungover this morning? The Snap ain't. I don't like hangovers. I don't like the way they feel. You know? I haven't been a drinker for a long time now. Alcohol is just a trap. It's a trap of the devil. Okay, so now we just mix this all up together. Look how yummy. But I happen to like tang in my food, so I always squeeze a lemon over this too. And I'm gonna squeeze a lemon over this baby, and then I'm gonna put some salt on here, because that's how I will re-salt myself after sweating on my walk. I'm going to salt this too. I'm going to use salt. I use sea salt. And I'm probably also going to prepare a big cup full of, homemade electrolyte water with some salt in it, a little shot of pomegranate juice. I don't put much of that in, maybe like a tablespoon or two. And the rest is just water. And then I've been thinking about getting one of those little machines that twirls your water. I don't know what it's called or something, but I'm getting messages that I should do that I should, but right now it's not in my budget. So I'm still struggling on a very small, very, very limited Social Security income. And it's even tougher this month because it's a 5-week cycle, which sucks. The government shouldn't be doing that to senior citizens. The way they have things structured is, sometimes you have to wait 5 weeks because they have you on, you're on the 3rd Tuesday of the month or whatever. It means that sometimes your cycle goes for 5 weeks and it's really hard to make it through that. They shouldn't be treating people like that. They should be paid week for week, the same every week, no matter how many weeks there are in the month, is my take on that. And I'm kind of mad at the government for doing that to seniors. I think it really sucks. Okay. All right, so we're done. We're going to sit down and eat now, but we're going to give thanks. We're grateful for what we have. We're grateful for the Social Security income that we do have. And we're grateful for the food, the healthy food that's available to us. And even though the hiking path, the walking path has sinkholes in it, we're grateful we can still go use that right now. These 3 cards came out of an oracle deck I have here after I saw the lavender story. Lavender. Okay. This is one of my keys that I make. I hung that on there for a decoration because it sort of matched the colors. Look at, it's got that, it even has a lavender colored tassel on it. An orangey color dress. She's wearing Then another card came out with something about a book with roses. And there's a cup there that's empty. It's waiting to be filled. And then this card came out. These are, I'm not sure what these are. They're some kind of, they're bulls for sure. Well, you know, you mess with the horns, mess with the bull, you get the horns. Two cards came out of my homemade card deck. Okay, so karmic deadlock has to be cut through using the wisdom sword. Remember I used that to chop the cauliflower up with? And cutting through. So this is being cut through. The karmic deadlock is being cut through apparently by an army of Buddhas. Thank you for coming. Please like, share, subscribe, and if you feel guided, please make a donation.